Hi, my name is John Weber with another edition of Lowcountry Connect. This is the only show in the Lowcountry where you're going to learn about the culture, the heritage, real estate, and everything in between. So if you're interested, please subscribe, give a thumbs up if you like this video. Today's video could be a little bit boring, but it's very, very important, and I deal with this on a daily basis. I'm going to go through a paragraph in the contract when you buy real estate here in Bluffton or Hilton Head. So if that interests you, stay tuned and let's do this. As I mentioned, this particular paragraph in the standard MLS, Hilton Head Board of Realtors contract, is very, very important. There's a lot of things in this contract that are super important, but paragraph 8 is something that I deal with on a daily basis because when you're buying a home here, a lot of these contracts are different. They're different in different states. For instance, there is no time of acceptance in this contract. We certainly can add that in, but it's not part of the form contract. Over in Beaufort, that particular contract does have it in there. So little subtle differences in the contract, but paragraph 8 refers to once you have signed a contract for a home, you have the ability to have the home inspected. And I deal with this because inspectors are going to find things in all these homes, even a new home. I recommend inspectors to take a look at brand new homes that are being built by builders or Sun City, Latitude, any of the areas, just to make sure everything's done right. So paragraph 8 states that, I'm not going to read this whole thing because it'll be just boring, but the condition of the property. At closing, all appliances and systems referenced in section 4, including the heating, air conditioning, electric, mechanical, and plumbing systems, fireplace, chimney, irrigation, pool, and spa, shall be in good working order, and their physical condition shall be subject to reasonable wear and tear regardless of age. You're buying a resale home, you're buying a used home, and homes age. So what you want is you want everything in good working order, subject to, age. It should be in reasonable condition, in good working order. So what happens when you sign the contract, there's a space in here that your realtor, hopefully it's me, will put in. I typically put in 14, 15, 16 days in here from the effective date. The effective date is when all parties have signed this contract and we have a binding agreement. We have a ratified contract. From that date forward, you've got, let's say, 14 days to have an inspector come in and inspect that home, all right? So the inspector comes in. I can recommend any number of inspectors that will come in and inspect these homes. They're going to prepare a list, and they're going to find things wrong. They're going to find things that in disrepair. They always do. So we get the report back. It says here in paragraph 8 that the seller, we can send it to the seller's agent, and they can review the report, which I always do anyway. As soon as I get it, I send it to them so they can see what we're dealing with. I don't like to just catch people off guard with any type of a report. So once we have the report, I go over the report with the buyer in detail, and there's always a summary page of what the inspector feels that should be completed and fixed and repaired. And we go over that and we develop a list. It's called a repair list. We can put it in an addendum, list the things in an addendum, and have both parties sign it. That's the proper way to do this. If we don't do that, we can use emails, put it in writing. We'd like you to fix A, B, C, D, all these different items. And just as long as we have a paper trail and we put it in writing, we're looking for a response from that seller's agent, seller, they're going to fix those things, and they're going to fix it at their cost. There are things in this paragraph that talks about fogged windows and things like that. Under the paragraph, sellers don't have to replace things like that. That's considered normal wear and tear. But it's amazing, I was talking with an agent the other day, that electrical box, geez. I mean, there's always the wrong ampage in there. There's all kinds of things going on with the electrical box, but it's easy to fix. You just put the proper amps in there and the proper wiring and things like that. So we want these repairs to be made so you're happy. I always tell clients that this is your out in the contract if we get to that point, because what we do is we submit the repair request to the seller, and the seller has, he's going to respond that, yes, I'll fix everything, which is perfectly normal. That's what they normally do. But if they say, no, you got a good price on the house, I'm not going to fix anything. If they do that, the buyer has the option to close on the home the way it is, or he could terminate the contract at that point. If the seller says, you know what, you got a good price in the house, I'm going to fix the first 4 things and I'm not going to fix the rest of it. That also gives the buyer an out where he can say, no, I want everything fixed, and he has to make a decision at that point, or he can terminate the contract. Most times down here, the sellers repair items on the list, and if they don't repair it, they'll get a proper estimate, and they will submit that for the buyer to review, and then they might escrow funds, an agreed amount, an agreed total that they'll escrow, and we'll see that a lot as well. It's really, everybody's on the same page going all the way through the contract, and everything is put in writing so we all understand. Because there's usually, if there's going to be a hiccup, it's going to be in this paragraph. Usually in my transactions, I don't have much of a problem. There could be some negotiating back and forth, but if there's something that's broken in the house, the roof needs repair, HVAC, something like that, the sellers usually take care of that. So I'm going to put a link down below. If you want this particular page of the paragraph, I'll be happy to email that to you. It is without a doubt the biggest part of this contract, because it's a negotiation stage, a negotiated item, and it could be a termination of the contract. But most of the time, everything goes just fine. So that's it from the Lowcountry. John Weber signing off. If you have any questions, please contact me. I have a great team, selected professionals that are here to help you in finding your dream home, the John Weber team. And that extends past real estate agents. It includes home inspectors, attorneys, handymen, contractors, all kinds of things to help you find that dream home and make sure it's in good working order. So please remember to subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the Lowcountry when you find your dream home, and we'll be on the lookout for paragraph number 8.